Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am going to talk about really the idea of knowledge, and perhaps even today more so than anything else. I'm just reflecting on why I'm doing these videos and what's the point of it all. Really, it's a case of thinking to myself: do I try and work on the high quality videos where I do a lot of time editing, or do I just do this off the cuff stuff? And really, what I've come to realize. Knowledge is something that you really have at that point in time. And if you record something like I have tried to do and then come back to it later when on the weekend or whatever, it never feels the same. It feels like the knowledge kind of dies. It almost feels like the knowledge itself is only really captured for these fleeting moments. And the writing is basically the writing is what's kind of prompting the knowledge, but the knowledge isn't captured in the writing. And so it seems, okay, so this is, I think, more for more subjective things. I think for things, more scientific things, the knowledge is really captured in a slightly different way. When you're talking about these kind of principles of experience, it feels as if you can really truly understand it in that moment, and then you go away for a day or something, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. What you've written is very hard to explain to an audience. Whereas if I do it right now, it seems easy. Like I feel that I'm experiencing the knowledge, and I can explain it to everyone without too much drama. And so I guess I've kind of accepted the fact maybe I do just need to do these YouTube videos on a regular basis to kind of just give the knowledge that I appear to be having. And for whatever reason, it does seem to be my duty, my responsibility, my calling, or whatever it is, just to let you know what it is that I'm experiencing. Every time I have this personal breakthrough, oh, that's a transferable skill, interesting idea. I guess people should know about that. I do feel that definite responsibility to share it with the internet. Because the internet does need people to, in good faith, to try and explain the world as it is. And I really am trying to put out higher quality knowledge. And I think that I'm always trying to get that balance between quality of knowledge and quantity of knowledge. But the truth is, I think this is the balance. Is just to do a YouTube video every day or every 2 days or whatever it is, when at the end of the day where the inspiration strikes me, when I feel I had these moments of true understanding, and then sit down like this, obviously putting out a video, stopping it every now and again to think about what I'm saying, have a little bit of a script, but not be a script to say Marcus Brownlee. And I think I just had to accept that when he's talking about tech videos, it's a slightly different thing. And if I do talk about the details, which I'll talk about in other videos, then yeah, sure, I will definitely have more scripting in that. But right now, it is essentially very little script. I think as much as anything, this one of the deeper principles that we're looking at here is the fact that I'm looking at a deeper understanding of being myself. I know that's a cliche, but there's a real truth to that even if you can't manifest who you really want to be, truly want to be in the world, you always have to orient to it and not lie to yourself. Like if you really do want to be lean and fit, and that really is very important to you, even if you're completely out of shape, you don't lie to yourself. Just simply, what I say is always imagine the ideal and align habits to it. So maybe look, just because of your life circumstances, because of your monetary situation or whatever, you can't get that job that aligns with your values. That's actually okay. You just continue the job you're at and just make sure that you're always looking at opportunities to just nibble away at the ideal kind of place you think you probably should be that aligns with your values. And that doesn't mean an easy or comfortable life. I don't think that exists for anybody, but just a life that seems to be somehow deeply connected with what you truly want in some deep way. I know that's a cliche and it's very hard, and maybe in another video I'll try and explain it a little bit better, but it just is these moments when I suddenly realize that I'm just lying to myself, and YouTube videos is probably one of them. And there's certainly political instances as well, which I realize I may eventually have to address, but really at this point, it's enough for me to just be honest with myself. I guess I am just that guy who makes a bunch of YouTube videos for whatever reason. I don't think it's purely narcissism. Like, I don't want you to think much of me. I just want you to take these lessons, because I do feel like in some sense there's just 7 billion humans that are almost exactly the same, and you can almost see them as copies of oneself. And if you don't learn these lessons from me, you'll have to learn them the hard way. And if your consciousness or your experience is somewhat interchangeable with mine, like we're the same, we're obviously made out of the same stuff, it doesn't make it seems to be that it's equivalent to me having to learn it the hard way as well. So it's pragmatic self-interest. I live this one life at a time, but in some sense, it looks like all the lives are somehow connected. So in a pragmatic sense, it would be silly to learn these hard lessons of life and not share them with the 7 billion copies of myself, with this incredible technology that we have. So I think that's basically a reasonable summation of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So knowledge seems to be this thing you experience. So you're fully there, and it is again hard to explain, but when you really understand something, you feel you're part of the knowledge. You experience it almost. You have this flash of understanding, and you see it. Whereas if you're just reading in words on a page, it doesn't mean anything. Like that flash of understanding is something is going on. Your observation is kind of perception is then from the point of view of the thing that you now understand. And it comes and it goes, and that's why it's important for me to make these videos, I think, regularly, because that flash of understanding, of that perception of seeing, as I integrate that knowledge, I see it very, very clearly. I see the world very clearly from that as I integrate it, and that's, I think, the point at which it makes the most sense to try and share that inspiration, share that principle, share that thing that you're suddenly aware of in a very clear way. So, well, thanks for listening, people. I really appreciate it. Obviously, I really appreciate you spending the time, and I hope you got something out of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Maybe I won't bother doing that. That's a Marcus Brownlee thing.